This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous session, we have discussed about managing the records inside the Salesforce objects. And we have discussed how can we insert the records, how to update the records, how to remove and how to restore, and how can we see the recently viewed, recently created, recently edited records by using the recent records section, and how can we customize the columns inside this recent records section we have discussed. Now, today we'll see a new control or a component as part of the Salesforce CRM that is called as enhanced list view control. Enhanced list view control. So what exactly the enhanced list view control? What is the use? And how can we use this enhanced list view control in order to list out the records? Now, as of now, we have created few records inside the object. We have modified some records also, and those records we can see inside the recent records section. We can see those records inside the recent records section. But this section will get represents only the recently created records, recently viewed records, recently modified records, not all. But sometimes I want to see all the records available inside my object. Assume that I'm using my Salesforce account since almost 2 years, or since almost 6 years, since almost 2 months, since almost some 10 days. In these last few days, or in the last, from the beginning of creating my Salesforce account till now, whatever the records I have created, it may be 6 months old records also, 1 year old records also, 2 years old records also. I want to see all the records available inside my object. Then how can we see those records? Whenever if you want to see all the records available inside the object, then we have to use a control called as enhanced list view control. Enhanced list view control is used to represent all the records available inside the object. In order to see all the records available inside the object, we are using this enhanced list view control. Now, then where is this control? How can we see these records? So now here you can raise a question. Sir, whenever I'm using this enhanced list view control, it is representing all the records. It is displaying all the records in the form of tabular format. In the form of a tabular format, it will display all the records over there. Now, so in this case, sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I don't want to see all the records. I want to see only those records which are meeting some specific conditions. Like for example, I want to see only those account records whose rating is equals to some HUD. Sometimes I want to see only those account records whose industry is some banking. Sometimes I want to see only those account records whose active status is equals to some yes. Like that, I would like to fit some required records. I don't want all, I want to show only some specific records which are meeting the specified conditions. Then how can we filter out the record? That means not only representing all the records available inside the object, we can add our own filters also. We can add our own user-defined conditions also. With the help of those user-defined conditions, we can filter out the records. Then how can we use this one? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, let me give the note point. By using this feature, we can represent all the records exist inside the object in the form of a tabular format. In the form of a tabular format. Now, so now we can add the required filters required filters to filter out the records. We can add the required filters by using the required user-defined conditions. Defined conditions to filter out the records. To filter out the records, we can able to add the required user-defined conditions also. That facility is available. Then where is this enhanced list to be control? How can we see? Okay, now let me explain practically. So let's go with the practical part. For example, I want to see all the account records which I have created in the past. So now you can click on this accounts tab. When you click on this accounts tab, it is opening that account object home page. So this is the account object home page will be getting visible to you. In this home page, on top of the page, you will be having this enhanced list to be control. This control is called as enhanced list to be control. This control is called as enhanced list to be control. So now in this enhanced list view control, we can represent the records in the form of a tabular format. Not only all, okay, only few records also we can able to show by adding the required conditions. So now here it is indicating that. So now this is the pick list is available to select that which records you would like to display. All the records or only some records which are meeting the specified conditions. For that one, by default, when you expand this pick list, it is having some set of options are available, like all accounts, my accounts, new last week, new this week, platinum and gold SLA customers, recently viewed accounts. Like that, here it is representing all the records, all the options. So these are the various options are available. These options are called as list view options or filters. Okay, these options are called as list view options or filters. These are called as filters, or these are also called as list view options. Then what is this list view options will do? This is each and every option is having some conditions inside this. Behind this, it will be having some conditions. Like for example, if I'm selecting all accounts, it will display all the account records available inside your account object. So whatever the account records are available, all the account records will be getting visible. Suppose if I'm selecting my accounts, then it will represent only those account records which I have created. Okay, which I have created. Now you can raise the question, sir, what is the difference between my account and all accounts? Now, like for example here, okay, like for example, assume that I'm having this a Salesforce account. Okay, we are having this a Salesforce. In this Salesforce account, myself and Abhishek, we both are the users. Okay, so now we have a person Abhishek. Abhishek is also accessing my application. I am also accessing my application. We both are the users. I am one different user. Abhishek is another user of this Salesforce account. For one Salesforce account, we can have multiple users also. So I am also one user, and then Abhishek also one more user. Kavita also another user over here. Mallikarjun is also another user. We all are the users of this application. Now, suppose for example, when Abhishek has been logged into the application, okay, now if he is selecting this option, my accounts, then he can see only the Abhishek's records. Whatever the account records Abhishek has created, only those records he can see. Suppose he is selecting the option my all accounts, then he can see my records, Abhishek's record, and then Kavita's record, Mallikarjun's record. All the four users' records you can see. That means which record you want to see, only your records or all the users' records also. So that we will be using these options. Next, new last week. That means whatever the records you have created, okay, newly in the last week. In the last week, whatever the records you have created, those new records will be getting visible. New this week. That means whatever the new records you have created in this week, those records will be getting visible. And then platinum and gold SLA customer. SLA means what? Service level agreements. That already you know that initially during the cloud services concept already we have discussed. SLAs are nothing but the predefined conditions, predefined rules are the standards which the organization is following upon giving the services to their customers. Upon giving the services to their customers, they're following some set of principles, some set of clauses, some set of guidelines. Those are called as SLA, service level agreements. So upon giving this SLA, they're giving that various SLA options like as gold, silver, platinum, bronze, like that they're giving the various options over here. So I want to see only those account records whose SLA value is either platinum and gold. And then recently viewed, whatever the records which you are recently viewed, those records will be getting visible over here. Like that, these are the various options are available. All accounts, my accounts, new last week, new this week, platinum and gold SLA customers, recently viewed account. These are the various options, are the list of options or filters are available inside your enhanced list to be control. These are called as list of options or filters. Now, so now when I select this option, all accounts, I can see all the account records, whatever we have inside my account object in the tabular format. So I'm having totally some 14 records are available inside my object. All the 14 records are getting visible. Now you can raise a question. Okay, now you can raise a question. Sir, almost we have created 2 to 3 records inside this account object in the previous session. Then how it is showing 14 records inside this? Whatever the remaining 12 records, Salesforce is giving some sample records in account object, contact object, opportunity, lead, campaign, case, with a solution. In these objects, Salesforce is giving some default records, some sample records Salesforce is providing to you in order to see how the records will be look like, how the data will look like, what format of data we need to enter. So that to see this information, to know this information, to get this awareness, Salesforce has given some sample records. Almost Salesforce has given 12 records and then remaining 2 records which we have created. Okay, Salesforce has given 12 records and then 2 records which we have created over here. Now, so now here in this case, okay, now here in this case, so whatever the 12 records has been given by Salesforce and whatever the 2 records we have created recently, all the records are getting visible inside this list. So all accounts means all the account records will be getting visible. Now, if you want to select recently viewed accounts, we can see only the recently viewed record. These are the records which we have viewed recently because we have seen this record. We have created these records here. Abhishek Tripathi, Reliance Digital, these are the records. So depends upon the option, depends upon the filter which you have selected, those respective records will be getting visible, not all. Okay. Now here in this case, what happened? Enhanced list view control is used to represent all the records. Whatever the records are available inside this object, all the records are getting visible, okay, inside this tabular format. And along with that, we can filter out the record by selecting the list view option or filter. Depends upon the filter which you have selected, those respective records will be getting visible. Now, in this case, let me explain some more options inside this. Here in this case, it is giving that whatever the 14 records are available here. Okay, whatever the 14 records are available inside this list. Whatever the 14 records are available, from these 14 records, I want to display only those records whose name is starting with the character some B. That means what? Based on that starting characters, I would like to get those records. I would like to filter out the records. How can we do that? Salesforce is giving this option. Salesforce has given that, okay, these characters A, B, C, D up to Z. That means what? If I'm selecting A, whatever the account records are there, whose name is starting with A, those records will be getting visible. Like when I select this A, it will displaying those records, filtering out that record. It will be displaying only one record, Abhishek Tripathi, because his name is starting with the character A. Suppose if I'm selecting like some M, it is representing only those records whose name is starting with the character M, but we don't have any records. For example, I'm selecting some U. So with this one, 4 records are available whose name is starting with the character some U. If I'm selecting some P, it is representing only one record here. If you want to see all, click on all the records will be getting visible. So that whatever the records are available inside this tabular format, those records we can able to filter out based on the starting character of the name. based on that name's starting character, we can filter out the records also. That facility is available as part of this enhanced list view control. Okay, we can able to filter out the records based on the starting characters by selecting the respective character inside this list. Now, so not only filtering out the record based on some conditions, based on the starting character also we can able to filter out the records over here. That facility is available. Next, along with that, it is providing the sorting option also. Whatever the records are available inside this tabular format, these records we can able to sort. Sorting means what? Arranging. Okay, we can arrange the records either in uppercase, either in ascending format or descending format also. Depends upon your requirement, we can arrange the records either in ascending order, that means minimum to maximum, that means A to Z or Z to A also. Depends upon your application requirement, we can able to sort out the records also just by using this, click on this column header. So it is indicating that account name column. I want to arrange, it is indicating a small, the upward direction, nothing but minimum to maximum, nothing but smaller to upper, okay, bottom to top. Now, suppose if you want to arrange the records in the reverse order, just click on that column header again. That's it. It will arranging the records in Z to A format over here. It will be arranging the records, sorting the records. Depends upon your application requirement, we can able to sort the records also. Sorting facility is also available over here. Okay, we can able to sort the records by click on the respective column header. Okay, either in ascending order or descending order. Also, we can able to arrange those records. The facility is available. Now, so now here in this case, when coming to this enhanced list view control, whatever the records are getting visible, we can able to sort out the records also based on the required column, either in ascending or descending order. Now, let me give the note point here. We can sort the records. We can sort the record based on the required column. Required column either in ascending or descending order. We click on the column header. By click on the column header, we can able to arrange the records either in ascending format or descending format also. Depends upon your application requirement. Now, the next one. So when coming to this enhanced list view control, it is providing the pagination facility also. Suppose, for example, here, totally we are having 14 records are available. All the 14 records are getting visible over here. Sometimes you can raise the question, sir, I don't want to show all the 14 records. I want to show only 10 records at a time. Like when you go to some Gmail application, for example, everybody is having your own Gmail application, which you are using since almost 5 years, 10 years, or it may be 7 years, or recently also whatever. Inside your Gmail application, in your inbox, you may be having some thousands of emails. You will be having some thousands of emails inside your inbox, which you have received, okay, since very long back. So now tell me, whenever you are logging into your Gmail application, all those thousands of emails are getting visible at a time? No. All the emails are not visible. Recently received 50 emails will be getting visible. That means whatever the new emails are available, which are available inside that recently the received 50 emails, those new 50 emails are getting visible right now. If you want to see the remaining emails, what we can do, we are having some navigation button, next button. When you click on next, the next 50 records. When you click on next again, next 50, and then next 50. Like that. Keep on, we can able to see the records from first to last and from last to first. So whatever the records are available inside this inbox, we can able to list out the record. We can navigate the record from starting to ending, ending to starting also, like the similar way. That feature is called as pagination. That means what? Instead of displaying all the records at a time, we can split. We can divide those records to the various small pieces. We can divide those records to the various small pieces. Now that feature is called as pagination. That feature is called as pagination. Now, so now here in this case, instead of displaying all the records at a time, we are going to be displaying only some specific number of records. Remaining records we can see by using navigation buttons. That feature is called as pagination. That means what? Instead of representing all the records, we are dividing those records to the various small pieces. That piece of records we can display inside a page. That feature is called as pagination feature. That is also called as paging facility. Paging or pagination both are same. Like the similar way here also, of course, you might be having some hundreds of records also inside your account table, but all the 100 records I don't want to see at a time. I want to see only some specific records at a time. Then how can we filter out those records here? For that one, Salesforce has given the pagination facility to you over here. So now here it is indicating that. It is indicating 1 to 14 of 14. Total, all the 14 records are visible. But I don't want to display all the 14. I want to show only some specific records. How many you can specify? Here, when you go to this one, here small pick list is available here. Expand this pick list, it is indicating how many records you want to show per page. Either 10 records, or 25, or 50, or 100, or 200. How many records you want to show per page? That you can decide over here. So in this case, suppose if I'm selecting 10, then the first 10 records will be getting visible to me over here. 1 to 10 are 14. That means first 10 records are getting visible. Then whatever the remaining 4 records, how to see those remaining 4 records? Here you will be having navigation buttons are available. By using this navigation buttons, we can navigate the records from first to last and last to first also. For example, I want to see the next 4 records. Click on next button, next 4 records you can able to see. If you want to go back to the previous 10 records, click on previous, you can see the previous record. So that now this enhanced list view control, if the control is only one, but it is having so many internal features inside this. It is having the filtering option also. It is having the sorting facility. It is having the filtering based on that starting character. It is having pagination facility also is available over here. So that enhanced list view control is providing the pagination facility also. So now this pagination facility will allows you to decide how many number of records you want to display at a time. How many number of records you want to represent at a time, that we can decide by using this pagination feature. Okay, now, so let me give the note point over here. It provides the pagination or paging feature which allows us to decide the number of records to be visible at a time inside the table. Inside the table, the user can navigate, the user can view the remaining records by using the navigation buttons. By using the navigation buttons. With the help of these navigation buttons, the user can navigate the records from first to last and from last to first also. The user can navigate the records from first to last and from last to first also. The facility is available over here. Now, so now here in this case, so now as part of this enhanced list view, it is providing the pagination facility also. Through this pagination facility, we can able to navigate the records from first to last and from last to first as well. That facility is available here.
Firoz,
Yeah.
in
In all account, did it contain the deleted accounts also, like deleted
No, no,
records?
no, 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 no. Only the records which are undeleted, which are not deleted. Okay. Deleted records will not be visible inside this table. Deleted records you can see only in recycle bin.
Recycle bin. Yeah.
Okay. All accounts means records which has been created by me along with the other users also. That's it. Not the deleted records. Deleted records you can see only in recycle bin option. The recycle bin option is available inside the sidebar. Here you can see the recycle bin option. Okay, you know that concept.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So now here in this case. So as part of this enhanced list view control. So the enhanced list view control is providing all these facilities inbuilt. Control is only one, but it is having all these features inbuilt. Sorting facility, and then it is having that filtering facility. It is having that pagination facility. All these options are available here. Now let's come to a small use case over here, a small requirement. Now here you can raise a question. Sir, for example, here it is having that few options are available. These are called as list view options or filters. These are called as list view options or filters. Now, when I select all accounts, it is showing all the account records. When I select my accounts, it is showing only my records which I have created. When I select this recently viewed accounts, it is showing only the account records which I have seen recently, which I have viewed recently. Like that, can I add some more filters inside this? Yes, we can add. This is a common requirement in every project. For every object, we have to add some list view options or filters. That means whatever the options have been given by Salesforce, whatever the filters have been given by Salesforce, if these are not sufficient, if these are not suitable for your application requirement, then we can able to add your own filters also. Then we can add your own list view options also. That facility is available. Now, so whatever the options are available, if these are not sufficient, we can add our own filters. How many? N number of filters we can add. Then how to add these filters over here? What is the navigation to add the filters? Now let's see practically in this case. Okay, now. So now in this case, let me take a small use case. Let me take a small use case. How to add this kind of list view options or filters. Let me show you that. Now take a small use case. Now configure the list view option or filter for account object to represent only the heart rating account records. Heart rating account records. This is my use case. This is my requirement. Use case means requirement. This requirement is a common requirement in every project. In every project, it is a common requirement. Now, so what is that requirement here? Now, whatever the filters are available inside my list view options, list view control, here I would like to add one more option also. What is that option name? We can give any name, like as heart rating accounts or heart rating customers. When I click on this all accounts, it is showing all account records. When I selecting heart rating option, heart rating customers, it has to show only those account records whose rating value is heart. Because you know that in the last session we have discussed, upon creating the account record, there is a rating field which is used to indicate so what is the rating you are providing to that particular customer, whether you are offering heart rating, warm rating, cold rating, like as high, medium, low, just the terminology difference. So depends upon that rating value we can able to represent. I want to show only the heart rating customers because those are very, very valuable customers to me. So that here I would like to list out only the heart rating customers. Then how can we do that here? How can we add a filter? So now inside this enhanced list to be control, okay, upon selecting that, it has to show only that heart rating customer. So now let's see practically. Not only using these options, we can able to add our own options also. How many n number of options? There's no limitations at all. Now, in this case, how can we create our own list to be option or filter? Now let's see practically. Now, let me give you the navigation over here. So for which object you would like to create this list view option? For account object here. So go to that accounts tab. Now, click on the required objects tab because I want to create this option for account object. So go to the accounts tab. Click on the accounts tab. Go to the enhanced list view control. Go to the enhanced list view control. Click on create a new view link. Click on create new view link. So click on create a new view link. Enter the list view name and the label. Enter the list view name and the label. You can give any label, any name also, whatever you want. You can specify that. Like for example, I want to indicate now heart rating customers. I want to give the name or the label like this, heart rating customers. Now select the filter criteria. That means what account records you want to collect over here. So it will be having two options. All accounts. Second one, my account. That means upon filtering out the records, which records you want me to consider? What records you want me to consider? You want me to consider only my records? You want me to consider all the records? That means you want me to display only those heart rating account records, okay, belongs to all the users or only my records? That we can decide here. So in this case, I would like to select this, okay, all accounts. Select this option. Next one. Specify the required conditions. Specify the filter conditions. So what conditions you want to apply? Specify those filter conditions also. My requirement is I want to represent only those account records whose rating value is heart. So my condition is account records rating value equals to heart. That means whatever the account records are available whose rating value is equals to heart, only those account records I want to display. Remaining records I don't want to display over here. Now, the next one. Select the columns. Select the columns to be visible. Select the columns to be visible inside the table. Inside the table by using add or remove buttons. By using this add or remove buttons, we can able to select that required columns to be get visible. Next. Arrange the columns in the required order. Required order by using up and down navigation buttons. Up and down navigation buttons. And then that means in which order you want me to display these columns over here. Because whenever I'm selecting this filter, it is showing some columns information, right? Like it is showing the account name, account site, billing state, phone number, type, and the account owner alias. Like that, upon selecting my own option, what columns information has to be visible inside this table over here. We can select the columns and then we can arrange the columns in the required order also. Now, after that, select the visibility option. Restrict the visibility option. Select the restrict the visibility option. Here you will be having three options are available. Visible only to me. That means what is this option basically? Now, what are the new filter that you are creating? What are the new option which you are creating? That option should be visible to whom? That option should be visible to only to me, or that option to be visible to all the users inside the organization, or that option to be visible only to few users. To whom it has to be get visible, we can decide whether this option will be visible only to me, or this option will be visible to all, visible to all users, and the third one, make it visible to a group of users. To a group of users. We can select that. I want to make this option to be visible to all the users over here. So now I'm indicating select this option. I'm giving the navigation also. And then click on save it. Click on save it. Now, the observation is it will add a new list view option or filter inside the enhanced list view control. Inside the enhanced list view control. Upon selecting the option, it will represent only those matching records. Matching records inside the table. It will represent only those matching records inside the table. So this is the navigation process in order to create our own enhanced list view options or filters. In order to add your own filters, this is the navigation which we have to follow. Now let's see how can we create our own enhanced list view option or filter. Now let's see practically in this case over here, how can we add our own filter right now. Let's see. And then I will give you some assignments also on this one so that you can do some practice as well. Now, so let's go with the practical part. So what is my requirement? I would like to add one more option inside my account objects list view options in order to represent only the heart rating records. Whatever the account records are available, whose rating value is equals to heart, only those records I want to make it visible. Not all the records, I want to display only those records over here, which are matching the conditions. Then how can we add our own filters? Now let's see. So now here I would like to create an option for account object. So let's go to the accounts tab. Let's go to this accounts tab. Click on this accounts tab. When you go to this enhanced list view control, here you will be having the enhanced list view control is available. Inside this, you will be having an option called as create new view option. That means not only listing out all these views, if you want to create your own view, if you want to create a new filter or a new list view option, then click on this create new view link. Click on create new view link to create a new link. So now in this case, specify that view name. That means what is the name you want to provide over. I'm indicating that. I would like to indicate heart rating customers. I'm indicating heart rating customers. So just you can give that a view name. Now unique name will be preparing by Salesforce automatically. We no need to enter this one. This will be preparing by Salesforce. So this is the name which I would like to give. You can give any name, whatever you want. Now, next one, specify that filter criteria. In this case, you have to specify which records you would like to consider. You want me to consider all the records or only my records? I want to consider all, so that here by default all accounts has been selected over here. Now, the next one, filter by additional field. That means what conditions you want me to apply. So what records you want to show? I want to display only those account records whose in the rating value is equals to heart. So then specify the condition over here. What condition? I want to check the condition here. Like I would like to verify whether that account records rating value is equals to heart or not. If it is equals to heart, then only display that record inside the table, or else don't display that record inside the table. So in this case, in order to represent the records in the table or format, so we can able to display, we can able to apply some filters also. For that one, I'm adding the condition. Not only one condition, multiple conditions also we can add upon your application requirement. Based on your business need, based on your application requirement, we can add one or more number of filters, one or more number of conditions also we can add. So now in this case, what is the condition you would like to do? We can specify that. Here I'm selecting the column. Based on what column you are applying the condition? Based on that rating column. So select the option as rating. So we'll now select the operator. It is indicating operator. What operator you want to use? I want to compare. I want to display only those records whose rating value is equals to heart. So let's select the option equals. Equals with what? With what value you want to compare heart? So click on this lookup icon, select this option over here, heart. I want to display. So now I would like to compare the conditions. I would like to compare these records with this condition. I want to fetch only those account records whose rating value is equals to heart. Okay, like that we can able to add one more condition. This is one condition, rating is equals to heart. Like that another condition we can able to add. Like for example, I want to indicate active status equals to yes, then you can able to add the condition also. Active status equals to yes. Only the active records I want to show, not all. Like that you can add the condition. This is for one condition. Okay, this is for one condition. This row is for one condition. This row is for second condition. This is for third condition. This is for fourth condition. This is for fifth condition. So we can able to add the conditions one by one also. Now, sometimes we can raise a question. In the interview also they can raise a question. Upon creating a list view option or filter, what are the 5 conditions we are adding? Those are not sufficient. I want to add some more. I want to add some more conditions. I want to add 7 conditions, but here it is having the option to add only 5 conditions. I want to add some more. So in this case, if you want to add some more conditions, then we can able to go with an option called as add filter logic. There is an option called as add filter logic. Click on this add filter logic option in order to add some more conditions. How? Let me show you. Click on add filter logic. It is indicating this option over. As of now, 5 conditions you can add. If you want to add some more, then you will be having an option called as add row. Add the 6th condition, 7th condition, 8th condition, 9th condition, 10th condition. Totally 10 conditions you can able to add inside that list view option or filter. This is the limitation. So whenever we are preparing the list view option or filter, we can able to add maximum of 10 conditions. By default, it is representing 5 conditional options, and then if you want to add some more, then you can click on that add filter logic option. By using this add filter logic option, we can add some more rows to add some more conditions. So totally 10 conditions we can able to add inside a single list view control. That means in order to represent the records, in order to filter out the records, we can able to add maximum of 10 conditions inside this. So now here in this case, what we can do? If you want to add some more conditions, we can able to click on this add filter logic. We can add up to maximum of 10 conditions. Okay. So now here I'm removing the second condition over here. I'm making it as none. I'm not adding the second one because I want to add only one condition as part of my business requirement. As part of my use case requirement, I would like to add only one condition, that is rating equals to heart. So I have added this condition. Next. So whenever I'm selecting this option, heart rating customers, okay, it will collect the records. Upon displaying the records to the table, what columns you want me to display here? Okay, what columns to be get visible inside your table? So select the fields to display what columns you want to display here. But by default, it is going to be displaying these columns over here. But I don't want these columns. I want to select my own. I will select the options. I will select this column. So I'm removing this. I'm removing these options. I want to show the account record name, and then I want to show the rating value, and then I want to show the industry value, and then I want to show the annual revenue. I want to show the type value. I want to show the phone value. I want to show the fax value. I want to show the customer priority. I want to show the active status. These are the columns I want to make it visible. Okay. Upon selecting this filter, I would like to display the records inside the table with these columns. I want to show the account name, rating value, industry, annual revenue, type, phone, fax, customer priority, active status. These are the columns information I want to make it visible inside this table format. Okay, in the table I want to display only these records over here. These are these columns. If you want to arrange these columns in the required order, you will be having these buttons are available. By using these buttons, you can able to move it up and down also. Yeah, that facility is available. You know how to use these options. Already you are aware of that. And then what are the filter we are adding right now? This is the filter I'm adding, heart rating customers. This filter should be visible to whom? To whom you want to make it visible, we can decide that. Restrict the visibility option over here. To whom you want to display visible only to me. That means only to you it will be getting visible. Remaining users can't see. Visible to all users, nothing but it will be visible to all the users inside the organization. Or visible to only some certain group of people only. So now I want to make it visible to all the users here, so that I'm selecting visible to all users. Now click on save button. That means what we did here, we have specified that the view name and the unique name will be preparing by Salesforce. Select the filter criteria as all account. That means please consider all the records. And then add the filter conditions. Rating equals to heart. And then we can able to specify that. Select that fields to display. That means what columns you want me to display over here. Okay. What columns you want me to display over here. And then arrange the columns in the required order by using up and down navigation button, and then select the visibility option to whom these options to be get visible. Once you have specified all these options, then click on save button. Then the filter will be getting added automatically by default. A new filter has been added successfully over. So previously we are having these options, all accounts, my accounts, new last week, new this week, like that. So here we are having one more option also. If I'm selecting all accounts, all the total 14 records are getting visible. If I'm selecting recently viewed accounts, it will display only those records. If I'm selecting heart rating customers, only those account records whose rating value is equals to heart, only these records will be getting visible. Remaining records will not be visible. So it is indicating, okay, 3 records are available which are matching this condition, rating equals to heart. Like that, not only adding one filter, we can add multiple filters also. That facility is available as part of this enhanced list view control. That means not only utilizing the ready-made option, we can customize, we can enhance, we can add some more. That's what they have given the name as enhanced list view control. Okay, this is the way we are going to be adding the list view options or filters for your object according to your business requirement in order to filter out the records. Okay. So now let me give you that some assignments are this one, so that you can do the practice. Now, the first assignment. Configure a list view option for the account object to represent only banking industry customers. Banking industry. That means what? I would like to add a filter. Right now we have added the filter with the condition rating equals to hard. Like the similar way, I want to show only those account records whose industry is equals to banking. So what is the condition we need to apply over here? What is the filter condition? Filter condition is we have to specify industry value. I'm giving the condition also here for your convenience. Suppose if you don't know how to add the condition, you can follow this documentation. Okay, industry equals to banking. Industry equals to banking. This is one requirement. This is one assignment. Now this should be creating on what object? Account object here. Like that, give your name, banking industry customers. Second one. Configure a list view option for the lead object to represent only those lead records, whose phone number is not null. Whose phone number is not null. Then what is the filter condition in this case? What we can do, we need to specify that. In this one, you will be having that phone field. Lead records phone field not equals to null. That means empty. Make it as empty over here. For which object we need to create this filter? For the lead object, because here I have clearly indicated that. Okay. Now, for example, let's go to the leads tab over here. Go to that enhance list view control. Click on create new view. Here we can specify the view names and all same. Now, go to the condition. What is the condition we have to add? We are having that phone field. Phone field not equals to, okay, not equals to, just leave this it as blank. No, don't enter anything here. Leave it as blank. Leave blank means empty, like as null. It will compare. Okay, this is what we have to do. Now, next, the third requirement. Configure a list view option for the case object to represent only the high priority cases. Only the high priority cases. So what is the filter condition in this case?
Priority is equal to high.
Right. Priority is equals to high. We can specify that condition here. But this should be creating on what object? Case object. Okay, case object, not for account. Next, the fourth requirement. Configure a list view option for the opportunity object. Okay, opportunity object whose amount is more than 40,000. Whose amount is more than 40,000. That means whatever the opportunity records are available, whose amount is more than 40,000, I want to fetch those records. So that what I need to do, I would like to verify that condition amount value greater than or equals to 40,000. Next, the fifth assignment. Configure a list view option for the contact object. Whose mailing city is Hyderabad and whose email ID is not null. That means what? I want to collect only those contact records whose mailing city is equals to Hyderabad and whose email ID value not equals to null. Then how many conditions we need to add? Two conditions over here. What are those? Now let's see. Filter conditions. I want to verify. For this contact object, I want to verify that mailing city value. Mailing city value should be equals to Hyderabad. And then email ID value. Email ID value not equals to null. Two conditions we have to add. Okay, these are the filter conditions. I have given the filter conditions also over here for your easy convenience because you are doing the practice first time. So that here I am giving this filter conditions also. With this one, create these options. Okay, these are the 5 assignments along with the today's example also. Totally 6 assignments. Okay, so these are all the 6 assignments which you have to do the practice today. Okay. The next one. So as of now, we have discussed how can we create our own list view options or the filters. Okay, how can we create our own list view options or the filters in order to filter out the records we have discussed. Okay, in order to filter out the records we have discussed today over here. Now, the next concept. The next concept is object ID, that is also called as schema ID, that is also called as object key prefix. Object ID, schema ID, or object key prefix. So now we'll see what exactly the object ID or schema ID or object key prefix. Object means what? Table. Okay. Schema in the sense what? Schema means what? Structure. Structure means what? Table. Okay. Same terminology over here. Okay. Same terminology. So object means table. Schema also means table. Okay. Everything is same. Just the terminology differs. Now, so you know the concept of object. What do you mean by object? Object is nothing but a table. Object represents a table which contains some records inside it. Object is nothing but a table, okay, which contains some records inside this. As part of Salesforce, we have so many objects are available, like campaign object, lead object, account, contact, opportunity, case, solution, order, product, user, like that. So many objects has been given by Salesforce. So many objects has been given by Salesforce. So for every object, that means for every table, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number. For each and every object, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number that is called as object ID or schema ID or object key prefix. Okay, whatever the tables are available inside your Salesforce instance, whatever the objects given by Salesforce, for every object, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number that is called as object ID or schema ID or object key prefix. So then what is the idea of each and every object? What is that code? What is that number which has been allocated by Salesforce for each and every object what we have? So whatever the objects are available inside your Salesforce instance, for each and every object, Salesforce has allocated some ID. Then what is that ID allocated by Salesforce for every object? Now let me show you practically in this case how can we do this. Now, let me give the notepad. Salesforce provides a set of ready-made objects by default as part of Salesforce CRM. As part of Salesforce CRM, Salesforce has given so many ready-made objects by default. Now, for each object, Salesforce has allocated a unique identification number. A unique identification number for each object. For each object, which is called as object ID or schema ID or object key prefix. So then how can we collect that object ID? What is the idea of each and every object? Now let's see practically in this case. How can we identify the idea of each and every object? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so what objects are available? Let me place object name and the object ID. What is the ID allocated by Salesforce for each and every object? So what are the objects are there? I'm having so many objects. Account, contact, opportunity, lead, case, solution, campaign, order, user, like that. So many objects are available. Salesforce has given so many objects by default as part of the Salesforce CRM application. So what is the ID has been allocated by Salesforce for each and every object. Now I want to see. Then how can we see that? Now let me show you practically in this case. Now, in this case, now let's see how can we implement this. Now, so suppose for example, I want to see the ID of this account object here. Okay, I want to see the account object ID. How can we see this account object ID? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so I want to see this account object ID. How can we manage this account records by using accounts tab? Okay, simply go to this accounts tab. When you click on this accounts tab, inside this address bar, it is preparing one URL. Okay, inside this address bar, it is preparing some URL. The URL has been prepared by Salesforce. Just copy this URL. Okay, copy this URL, paste it over here. Okay, copy the URL and paste it. Like the similar way for contact. How can we manage that? Click on contacts tab. That means through contacts tab. Now copy this URL, paste it over here. Opportunity. Click on opportunities tab, copy the URL and paste it. Lead object. How to manage the lead records by using leads tab. Click on this leads tab, copy that URL, paste it. Next, case tab, case object. How to manage the case records by using cases tab. Click on cases, Copy the URL and the paste it. Solution object. How to manage the records? Click on Solutions tab. Copy this URL, paste it. Campaign object. Click on Campaigns tab. Copy the URL, paste it. So I have collected the URLs of these objects. When you observe these URLs, okay, when you observe this all these URLs, some features are common. Okay, now let me show you. Up to this part is common. Okay, https ap16.salesforce.com. That up to this part is common. Okay, up to this part is common. After that, there is a 3 characters alphanumerical number is available. Okay, there is a 3 characters alphanumerical number is available. So Salesforce is going to be allocating a unique identification number for each and every object, that is called as object ID, which contains a 3 characters alphanumerical number is available, which is having the 3 characters alphanumerical number. These are the 3 characters alphanumerical number: 001, 003, 006, 00Q, 500, 501, 701. Like that, it is having the 3 characters alphanumerical number is available here. Okay, now let me give the note point here. Each object contains the 3 characters alphanumerical number. Alphanumerical number. Each object contains the 3 characters alphanumerical number. So each object contains the 3 characters alphanumerical number. So when I observe this one, for the account object, there is a object ID. What is that object ID here? Now let me explain. For the account object, there is an object ID. What is that? That will be 001. For this contact object here, we are having 003. For this opportunity, 006. For this lead, 00Q. For this case, 500. For the solution, 501. For the campaign, 701. Like that, it is allocating some unique identification number over here. Okay, it is allocating some unique identification number for each and every object over here. For every object, it is allocating a unique identification number, which is the 3 characters alphanumerical number allocated by Salesforce. Now, like the similar way here. For other object, it is allocating 801. For the user object, 005. We have task object. For the task object, 00T. For the event object, it is allocating 00U. 00U. And we have the group object, which is having the 00G. Like that, here for each and every object, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number that is called as object ID or schema ID or object key prefix, which contains the 3 characters alphanumerical number. Okay, which contains the 3 characters alphanumerical number. Okay, which contains the 3 characters alphanumerical number. Okay. So this is how we can able to identify each and every object ID. Okay, so now here we no need to remember all the hundreds of object IDs, just we can able to remember only this few object IDs inside this. because these are the various object IDs, various objects which we are interacting on daily basis, so that just you can able to remember this object IDs. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see how can we use these object IDs to identify the record ID. Record ID concept, which is the most important one, we'll see in tomorrow's session. And along with that, we'll see the concept of applications. Okay, we'll see the concept of applications over here. What exactly an application, what is the use, everything we'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Okay.
Firoz?
Yeah.